Well, I'm thinking more in terms of what cuts were you doing?
No, I mean big newspaper. Big newspaper. Just
where you mold color. I mean, you don't put all the colors on at the same time. You know what I'm talking about?
You mean like the rainbow roll that I was just describing?
Yeah, I mean, you put all those colors on that one plate, as opposed to doing a print where you had to apply each color separately for a pole, and then put the next one on, and then.
Yeah, that's what I was saying in terms of conserving, because normally you need one plate for every single color that you want to put on your print. And what I was saying earlier is that I wanted to conserve by putting multiple colors. So what I'm doing is a process called selective wiping. So I'm selectively putting multiple colors on one plate. Where you would normally use one plate, you can start to see it here. So this has blue and brown on it, and I'm also going to go in and put a little yellow in the beak, and then we'll be done with this plate. But normally, like, there would be one plate only for the brown, and then another plate only for the blue, and then another plate only for the yellow. But if you design your image and you work with your materials, and if you know how to selectively wipe things, then you can conserve
So you can do it.
So you can, oh
Okay,
yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, and I've done it with wood blocks as well.
Because I was wondering how, if you had to do more than one pull, how you line up the sheet for each color exactly, so it prints where you want it to.
Well, we use registration sheets anyway for multiple plates. Although you'll see when I pull this that the convenience of photogravures is that we can print face down on the subsequent prints because they're so thin. So it makes registration really easy. So this is another technique. What I'm doing overall is called selective wiping. This one's called Adabel. So Adabel is just stands for, like, I'm just putting it right here. That's all. It's just really, normally they would do it with daubers that they would have, like when these felt blankets that are on the presses, when they get all ruined, then they would cut them down into little strips and roll them up into these little felt daubers. And that would be the way that you would apply. You could kind of like, that would be a way that you could, like, very, just very selectively put it. But I'm just using a card, and basically all I'm doing is I have only transparent base in this area, but I'm pushing yellow ink just selectively into the beak of the eagle.
I got a question.
Yes, please.
When you apply that technique, do you only get one print out of it? And when you're doing a whole series, does that affect the integrity of the series? Or?
Will I only get one print out of it?
Yeah.
This, no. These plates are good for about up to 50 pulls.
How many? 50?
50, probably a little bit more. I haven't found out. I'm not willing to find out beyond 50 prints.
You have to ink it every time? Or?
Yes, you have to ink it for every single print. So when you see in there when it says an addition of 6 or an addition of 9, I'm doing this and this times 9. So there's some work that goes into it.
So if we saw all 9 side by side, they would look significantly different.
No, because I'm experienced, Mark. I'm experienced. They do not look different. The point is that as printmakers and master printmakers, you try to make things look as identical as you possibly can, even with selective wiping. Now with selective wiping, there's a little bit more variability. And it might be like, oh, she colored outside the lines a little bit out here, But that happens. So you might see a little, just a touch, like, oh, a little color eked a little bit more into this area than it did in that area. But overall, I'm using the exact same inks, and I'm trying very hard within my edition. And when I look at the whole edition, I'm trying very hard to make sure that they look identical. Although you can also label it as variable edition, which means that I'm a printmaker, but I decided to make it variable. Even though I know what it is. So. Okay. Any other questions? Because we're about to get to the magical moments of coding. No?
Woo!
Okay.
You're going to have a door prize for the finished piece?
Yeah, yeah, this now, so actually, actually, that is a good question about like, what is this piece? I've already additioned these plates and here I am making some more. Okay, well, this is technically a color proof because I'm just doing another proof that is outside of the addition and I'm working with slightly different colors. Hi, Scott. Oh, there's new people already. This is so fun. I'm working with slightly different colors from the colors that I used in the actual edition. And so it's not going to match precisely the edition that's hanging in the other room. Might come kind of close, but and there's trial proofs, there's color proofs, there's artist proofs, and then there's editions. And so those are all different types of ways that we can label our prints. And a trial proof means that, well, and there's state proofs too when you're dealing with etching, but that's another thing, we're not talking about etching right now. But the trial proof just means that, like, I'm just trying out, you know, to see if the plate is the right exposure and if this is the way I want it, and maybe with, you know, this is